industry's troubleshooter is with me, Lew Migliore, LGM and Associates Technical Flooring Services. How are you, Lew?
I'm good, Dave. How are you?
Okay, we thought we'd change the setting here.
Yeah, we
What
have.
do you
Yeah.
think?
That's much classier. We're in my conference room, sitting very close, so don't get any ideas, anybody. But
Yeah, classy is what this is.
Yep, it's just a class operation.
Yeah. Lew, as I mentioned, is the industry's troubleshooter. He goes out and solves problems for people. Actually, has solved quite a few.
One or two.
As a matter of fact. The topic we're going to talk about today is specifying projects, and of course you on the front end of a lot of projects are called in so they don't have problems and don't need a troubleshooter down the road. Talk about that.
That is a really growing part of the business, and we're getting calls and requests from all over, from people who are involved in and I'll give you some examples, but involved in these projects that they need some guidance on, and it could be from getting the product manufactured to their specification, to overseeing the manufacturing of it, to overseeing the installation, going out on site. But in any case, in some facet of the project, they need someone to be able to give them an objective opinion and some objective guidance, rather than saying, well, you know, we don't want to talk to just the rep, or we don't want to just, we need to know whether or not we're getting the right thing, and whether they're telling us, what they're telling us is something. So we just did an airport, and all of a sudden we're doing more airports, and they were looking at some carpet tile, and they wanted to know whether or not the samples that had been submitted by the various manufacturers did in fact contain that particular yarn that they wanted. So, you know, we've got the lab, we can test it. We were able to determine that of those samples that they sent in, yes, these here do contain this. These have this fiber, but they also have some additional fiber that is not this one. If you wanted this 100%, why that is, because maybe that other end fiber that wasn't the branded fiber had a particular color in it that they didn't have in their solution dyed offerings from the branded fiber. And so that's one example of something fairly simple. And we'll talk.
There is, but sometimes the product, the samples that they have do not necessarily meet the specifications that, you know, were issued in the first place.
Sometimes they won't meet them 100% because there'll be other things in there. And that's one of the things that we'll look for. You know, is it the, and we can go as far as molecular with these things. Is it the right fiber? Is it the right weight? Is it the pile height? And it doesn't necessarily have to be carpet. It can be any product. For example, you and I were talking earlier about you're from Philadelphia, I'm from upstate New York. There's a chain of gas station convenient marts up there that I just got finished working with on a project. And how I got that was I had spoken at a retail convention out in Las Vegas that they, you know, all the big go there, you know, whether it's Macy's or Kohl's, Target, Walmart. It's Store Age magazine, I think, is the sponsor of it. And so I spoke about hard surface flooring, and I picked up a couple of clients as a result of doing the presentation. And they said, you know, this one in particular said, you know, we've got 600 plus locations. We're looking at doing some things, and we've had terrazzo, and we don't know whether, you know, we're looking at alternative materials, but nothing really performs like the terrazzo performs. And they get millions of foot traffic. I mean, this particular facility these facilities are highly trafficked. In a nutshell, went up, looked at it, met with their people. We did all of this research and everything, and I said, you know, the best thing to do is stick with the terrazzo. The problem is you got colors that are too light. You need to use colors that are darker, and they won't show the soiling, and they want the floor to last for, you know, 20 years. And some of their locations aren't that old, and the terrazzo's pitting and chipping, and, you know, can we fix this, and what do we do as an alternative? So we came up with a whole program, and I worked with their people, and it was marvelous. It was, terrazzo was going to be used. We're going to use some, you know, we selected colors to use. what they do in the interim, what are they going to do when they build new stores, what should we do with the slabs, and they're off to the races. So
just the whole idea of having you come in on the front end to eliminate problems, make sure that they get as much information as they can as to what to specify. Great idea.
and it's a lot cheaper doing it this way. You know, we don't work for free, but even regardless of what it costs to bring us in on a project, it's far less expensive. It's probably molecular in comparison to the overall project, certainly, but it's so much easier to do that up front, and it eliminates a lot of the complaints that you get. Well, we didn't have enough time to do the job, to put the flooring in, or the the GC, you know, wouldn't let us do this. Well, now it's all in writing. We've got it in the spec, and we eliminate all of those problems. And so everything gets done right. Everybody's happy. The installers are happy. The manufacturer of the product is happy. The client is happy. Everything is as it should be. We have tested materials to make sure that they will, in fact, do what we are telling them that they'll do. We've selected a manufacturer for them. And by the time they're finished, they're elated because they say, wow, this is fantastic. We got everything we wanted and working the way we want it to work. And then I'll even go and we'll oversee the installation if that's part of the scope of the work. And we'll even help them select the flooring contractor. You know, we've got a very strong relationship with StarNet and the Fuse Group and even Spectra. And, you know, in a particular location, we may say, hey, we know these guys, we know they're going to do a great job. These are the people that you need to have. They'll have to bid the job, but, you know, our influence is going to help get the right people on the project. So, as you were saying, yeah, it eliminates all of the problems.
It's a good trend, and hopefully, I know it's been going on, we talked about it before, but it would be good if that expands.
Oh, yeah, it would.
Eliminate problems.
Yeah, I love doing it. It's really challenging. It's a lot of fun. And it's very gratifying to know that, you know, all the years that I've been in the industry, we've always looked at the dark side, the problems. And so much material goes in that nobody ever hears about that performs properly. Well, you can eliminate most of the time going out looking at these big commercial projects that have that a complaint has spawned from something having been done wrong, and say, you know, this is great because now we got the opportunity to take all of this experience, you know, myself and our partners or associates, go out, look at this and say, you know, we can prevent you from having this problem if you do it this way. And it's wonderful. It really is. And then they want, you know, what happens is your reputation then builds and they tell other people, and, you know, that's how I built the business. It's all referral. So I love doing it. It's really satisfying.
Of course, that may ruin this program if everybody does this in advance.
No, I can assure you that the problems aren't going away. We'll find new ones to create. It's a very creative industry. So.
Very good. Thanks a lot, Lew.
You're welcome, Dave.
We've been talking with Lew Migliore. He is the industry's troubleshooter. This is Talk Floor TV.